Hello and welcome to the Ending Body Burnout Show. We are your hosts, Chris and Philly, co-founders of a multi-award-winning functional medicine practice, serving busy people with energy, mood, and gut issues.
While busyness, addictive doing, people-pleasing, and perfectionism might be the norm, it's not normal, and it's a major contributor to health issues.
Our goal with this show is to give you a holistic root cause approach to healing your body so that you don't have to continue doctor or diet hopping or popping a gazillion supplements hoping something might stick.
So get ready to heal your body, get your spark back, deeply connect with yourself, and step into the life of your dreams.
Let's dive in. G'day and welcome to this episode of the Ending Body Burnout Show. I'm Chris and I'm here with Philly, and today we are going to continue our retreats series.
Because I am obsessed about retreats at the moment. If you haven't heard already, where have you been?
But under a rock.
Under a rock. Or maybe it's the first time you've ever jumped onto our podcast. Welcome if that is you.
Hello.
So today's episode, we're going to dive into the 4 reasons why retreats are so transformational and why you need more in your life, because we are holding our very first retreat, our Ending Body Burnout experience, in August 2026. And this retreat is called the Body Knows Retreat. And it's being held at the Cove, Tasmania. That's in northwest Tasmania. Beautiful, beautiful place of the world.
So nice.
So if you have been umming and ahhing about attending, maybe you're not 100% sure if it's the thing that, is worth investing in, whether that's money or time or your attention, I think today's episode will help you to decide, because essentially we're going to dig into our own experiences of attending retreats and also our past experiences. This is going back pre-COVID, of putting on live in-person events. For some of those, we've had hundreds of people attend. So we're not new in putting on in-person experiences, but it has been a while, and I'm so excited to have real in-person human connection for 3 days. Are you?
Yeah, so totally. Retreats
I'm frothing. I'm so excited.
Retreats and this sort of in-person multi-day live event where it's multi-hours per day. We've been doing in our Open Doors series over the last few years. We've been doing
with our
live
ending
events,
body burnout
ending body
method.
burnout method.
Like our online program.
Yeah, so
which is still running, by the way, and doors also open in June.
Yeah, so we've been doing that. Retreats, I think they have played in both of our lives. They've played in our respective retreats that we've been to, absolutely pivotal role in our transformation in ourselves. Hey.
Yeah. So I thought we'd dig in today, like what we have found most transformative with retreats and how they have changed our health, our life, our relationships, everything for the better. And yeah, we'll talk about those experiences. It's going to be good.
It's going to be, yeah.
It's going to be good. I had a little bubble thread of thought that was half baked and it disappeared. So I'm like, let's just continue on there.
Yeah. And if you haven't jumped onto our website, you can check it out. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the video, but you can jump onto our website and it's there. It's plastered all over the place. You can just click the retreat button, book a ticket, and I'm just showing you a little bit about the page.
And a bit about it. So this is intentionally curated space that is designed for you to go deeply inwards, to really listen into the loving messages from your body and to take aligned action to move forward in your health and your life. So this isn't just like, this will be a really nice experience for a few days and then you go back unchanged, living your same old patterns. We're going to do some deep healing, rewiring, investigating, and help you to move through things that you have been feeling really stuck with, so that you can fast track your growth, your personal development, and your healing journey if you are on a healing journey. So think body, mind, root cause coaching, trauma-informed somatic practices, breathwork, sound healing, nourishing, wholesome food, and the most beautiful private luxury villas perched on a cliff overlooking the wild Tasmanian Ocean. Plus more. It's going to be amazing. And by the way, we do have an early bird special happening at the moment, but it does end 14th of May. So 2 days after this podcast is
That's soon.
published.
That's coming soon. Don't miss.
So after the 14th of May, the spots will increase by $500. And we are already, I mean, this may change by the time it gets published, but we are already 50% full.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'm stoked about that.
So excited.
Very
So
stoked.
we have 8 beautiful body whisperers who have said yes to themselves coming on this retreat. I am genuinely so excited about the people who are coming.
gonna be awesome.
It's just shaping up to be the most beautiful group, and I really believe that the people who need to be there will be there. And we have 8 spots left. So I'm also equally excited to find out who that's going to be. Hopefully it's you.
Is it you? Or is it you?
Okay. So to pre-frame before we go into the 4 reasons why we believe retreats are transformational, I want to talk about why some retreats actually aren't. Not all retreats are equal. Not all retreats are designed to have a transformative aspect to them. And that is not to say that any other type of retreat is bad. It's just not the type of retreat we're being led and called to put on. So you might, like the retreats that aren't transformational are kind of like the ones that you go to relax, have fun with, sit by the pool, get a massage, eat great food. Maybe you learn to surf or do photography or art. And again, there might be transformational aspects to those, but we're talking about deep rewiring transformation. So that is the type of retreat that we are curating behind the curtains. It's going to be self-discovery, rewiring, and essentially rebirthing yourself back into the world new. You will not be the same person that you come into the retreat as when you leave the retreat. And that is so exciting.
I also really like the metaphor or symbolism of our method that we'll be applying with you. So align. And sometimes you might feel like life's just off track for you, and you feel like maybe it's not completely off track, but I want to really dial things in. I really want to make sure that I get to where I'm going, and I want to get that process, that journey really clear on the process that I need to go from here to where I want to go. And so our aligned practice that we're going to be doing over the course of the 3 days is so beautiful. It's so profound. It's so wonderful. We've seen already such great transformative results with our clients and with ourselves, and it's going to be just the best.
It's going to be the best. 3 whole days implementing and embodying.
Yeah.
Getting aligned. Amazing.
So cool.
A transformational retreat is also really different to just going away on a holiday, whether that's with other people or with yourself. Again, there's nothing wrong with this. I love going to new places. I love seeing beautiful parts of the world. I love experiencing new things, having an adventure, relaxing. The bonus with a transformational retreat is you get all this plus a transformation. So you get to, I mean, I'm even so excited about going to the Cove, Tasmania. It is literally about only 20, 30 minutes away from where we live. I haven't personally stayed there in their beautiful luxury villas, but when we went in there to look around and just feel into if it would be the right place for us, I felt like I had stepped away into another world. I'm like, this is magical, and I'm so excited.
Sitting on the edge of the cove and just looking down at the cove and the ocean down there. You can also climb a couple of the hills and the peaks that are on either side of it. You can go check out the farm animals and things like that, and then you go look out over the Lily Coast Strait. There's little penguins, fairy penguins come in. They won't be there when we're there, but that's the spot. That's where they come in. So it's a magical spot that we're at.
And if you're someone that lives outside of Tasmania and you've never been here,
So
and
close
it's
to
on your
everything.
bucket list, this is the time.
Yeah.
Tasmania is amazing. Stay a few more days, stay a few more weeks and explore our beautiful state. So the transformational retreat container, I believe, is also really different to one-on-one coaching sessions or a program or a course, regardless of whether that's in person or online. I definitely believe that you can still get a transformation inside a program. I mean, we see that every week inside our Ending Body Burnout method with our clients who are working through their healing journey. But there's something very different and very unique and very special and very potent about an in-person multiple day retreat that I have personally experienced, fast-tracked my transformation in a short space of time.
Yeah.
I mean, I've shared it previously, but there was, I think maybe in the last podcast, I had an issue that I was just feeling really stuck with for many, many, many months. And in not even the 4-day retreat I went to, it was by day 2. By day 2, I had a significant breakthrough, and I've come home from that changed, and it has, like, the change hasn't just been for a short period of time. It has been until this very moment that I'm talking into this microphone that I am changed. So if you have been feeling stuck with something, even if you are a client of ours and you've been working through our program, there's something very different about just disconnecting from your everyday life and having many, many hours, incubated hours that have been curated for transformation. You can change really quickly in what could have taken a year's worth of working towards that change. And that is not just me like making that up. I've experienced that.
There's a saying, decades into days. And if you want to turn your decades into days, if you want to take what would take, a good 10 years or a long amount of years into a short space of time, transformational retreats are brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let's get into the reasons why we believe that retreats are transformational. So number one reason is it's an intentional, curated journey, which I've teased just before. So when I think about an intentional, curated journey, like I think about, we're jumping into a vehicle. Let's use a boat because we are going to be by the sea at the Body Knows retreat. We jump into a boat and the boat is going to take you to a destination. It's not through random chance. It is intentionally created, also knowing that there are different, unique people with different problems coming into the retreat. But the journey and the map and the pathway to get the transformation has been thoughtfully prepared in hindsight isn't the right word. It's been thoughtfully thought out.
Yeah, it's intentional.
It's intentional. It's trying to find a different way of like not repeating intentional, but it's just basically intentional. And personally, not all retreats have done this for me. I've gone to some great experiences, some like in-person multiple day events. And all of them I have really enjoyed for different reasons. Some had cool speakers, some had a fun vibe, some were relaxing, some even had like lovely somatic practices and interesting conversations, and there was some healing work in there. But it felt very hodgepodge and kind of like just mushed together. And it didn't really do much for me besides going away thinking, oh, that was nice. I'm glad I went. That was a lovely time, but I didn't come out of that unchanged. Some experiences too that I've been to, like retreats, conferences, were very teachy and information heavy. Again, there's no problem with that, and some people love that. And sometimes I've intentionally gone to something knowing that I'm going to be taught a lot of things, and I'm here for it. But it didn't give me the space or the vehicle to discover my own answers and tap into my own wisdom, because it was just like consuming information the whole time and people like talking a lot and not allowing my own wisdom to come forth, which allows for that transformation. Again, nothing wrong with that. But when I was dreaming up the Body Knows retreat in my heart, my number one North Star was to take our body whisperers. That's what we're calling our retreat guests, by the way, in case you didn't get that. My number one North Star was to take our body whisperers on a journey where they would leave feeling transformed, where they would leave with a really big shift in what they came into the retreat feeling stuck on. And I'm not saying everything will magically change in 3 days, but I really believe if you come into a transformational retreat experience wholeheartedly, that will be the end result. There will be something big that shifts, that becomes a pivotal point in your journey of like healing, health, or in life. It'll be something that you can go back to and think, that made all the difference. Do you have, like, has anything come to mind in terms of, because I know that we've had conversations when you have been to retreats and you came back a very changed person, and it's something that it's like I can point to that point in time and say that was the moment.
Yeah. I think so. There's the content is one thing. So having the space and having what you fill the space with, the people and the material and all that sort of stuff. So that's that. But I feel like the people that took me into their hands while we were at the retreats. I'm thinking about my Mark and Mark. When I went on these retreats with those guys, having them hold space for me so that I could be my most authentic, real self, and the people that were curated to be there in that community, sitting on those couches or on the floors or on a mat or on the wherever we were, the experience, the togetherness and the holding space for me allowed me to share and be real and be honest. And I don't think I had ever been that honest with another, specifically another man before, but another person. So I think that was the biggest thing. And being in person where there's eye contact, it's them looking at me, and sometimes it was literally like they were holding me, touching. Might have been a hug, or we might have been just sitting close to each other in the same sort of proximity. Just that space was out of this world transformative. And for those of you who've been on transformation retreats before and have had experienced that sort of connection with the other people, you'll know what I mean. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing for me, is that holding space, connection, honesty, vulnerability, that sort of thing. And then in addition to that, the content, the stuff, the meat and potatoes, what comes with that. Just put all that together.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you. You've just tapped into reason 4, which we'll come back to soon.
That's what I do.
That's what it is, like very like when Chris and Philly come together for a podcast. It's like
Philly has this order and structure, and I come and go Swedish chef.
So just going back to reason number 1, curated journey. I mean, I wasn't at those retreats with you, but one that we have been on together, the couples retreat, there was a very, like, just similar to how we're going to take our clients through the align process. Do you remember that there was like a specific process too? Which was great because it started like, I can't remember the process now, but it started unpacking. No, we started off with ourselves and then what we wanted as a couple, and then unraveling all of that.
It was great.
And it was very intentional. It wasn't kind of like hold hands and look at each other in the eyes and give each other a kiss. It's like, you know what, we're going to do some real work here so that when you leave this retreat space, your relationship is going to look very different. And it actually uncovered a lot of stuff
And it's not
that was put under the rug and needed to come forth to be worked on.
And without the time and the space, it's hard to do that, if not impossible. But having that structured, we're going to do this, then this, then this, then this. Yeah, that's awesome.
I also think, like with a curated transformational journey, something that personally works best for me, and I think for many human beings, because it's how we're wired, is not just focusing on top down or just focusing on bottom up practices. So what I mean by that is top down is talking, becoming aware, reframing, analyzing, deconstructing, finding new evidence. That's top down stuff where we're using our conscious, mental, cognitive mind that is very intelligent, that can create a lot of change and can guide us to where we need to go. But my personal experience is when I've been to multiple day retreats where that has been kind of like 100% of the focus, I haven't left in the same way that with retreats that have combined both. So the bottom up is like, let's actually access the wisdom of the body as well. And what does the body need to feel in order to feel safe? And what does the body need to process? And what does the body need to move out? So when we were creating the Body Knows retreat, expect to see all of that holistically crafted together to help you to get a really beautiful experience by the end of it that is transformational. And the issue too, if you're only focusing on bottom up experiences, like an example of that would be, I went on a breathwork retreat and all we did was breathwork. I don't know if anyone would do that because that's like a lot of breathing. Or all we did was meditate, or all we did was dance, or, you know, whatever it is. And like in the moment it was cool and I think things shifted, but I have like very little understanding around how to like make sense of this and how to move this and integrate this into my life. And so that can sometimes leave people feeling untethered, where it's like, I don't know what to do with this. And sometimes too, the stuff that comes up when you're doing bottom up exercises, so more somatic exercises, is a lot of discomfort. And sometimes it can be confusing and sometimes it doesn't feel good. And if you don't have that space and time to unpack it from a top down coaching experience, you can actually leave feeling traumatized. So we want to make sure that all parts of you are on board in order to get the result that you want. And a little note on this before we move on to reason number 2. The retreat facilitator, or is, and the retreat experience can create the container for potent transformation, but it can't transform you alone. So if you're going to a retreat, you do need to meet the experience halfway, maybe if not 80% of the way, with an open heart, an open mind, an open body, open to being curious, open to listening, open to hearing what you might not want to hear, open to kissing the monster of your subconscious fears. It's like, hey there, I see you. Open to changing. And I think a big thing too is come with an intention. So if you come with a question that you want an answer for, that you're feeling confused or stuck with, or come with an intention for something that you want to change or to break through, that will give you the steps to this. This will really help you to enter the retreat space already having a transformation because you've already formulated an intention. So consciously and unconsciously, you'll know why you're there, which then means the whole experience will just bring everything to the surface. For those of you who have signed up to the retreat, you would know this. For those who haven't signed up, you wouldn't know this. So I will share this with you. We do have a form to fill in. So when you sign up to the retreat, you get sent to a form, and we explicitly get you to state and name your intention, as well as the problem you have been struggling with and what you hope to leave the retreat with. One, this is going to help us to create a really personalized experience for the people that are there. But even more importantly, the moment that you say yes to yourself and you speak out your intention or write it out, your transformational journey has already started. So you will notice that things will start to shift for you even before you step foot into the cove, the space in which we're holding the retreat. In fact, I had a lady signed up, I think, was it last week or the week before, and sent her a little voice note, so excited, yay! And she said, I can't believe how changed I feel, the difference that I feel in my body just by having something to look forward to. And that was just her like pressing book my spot on a computer screen. Already her state had changed, which is so cool.
That's cool.
So if you are someone who's a bit of a last minuter, or it's just like, oh no, I'll just wait. I'll just see if there's a spot left. I don't know. Yeah, I really want to, but I don't know.
You might not be able to.
You might. Well, one, you might not be able to, because my intuition, my heart is saying this will be sold out very soon. But also give yourself the gift of booking in now and having a great experience leading up to it, as opposed to booking in 2 weeks beforehand and then it's like, oh, it's here already. There is actually like a lot of healing to have something to look forward to, and already your unconscious mind will start like doing what it needs to do to let go of the thing you're having trouble with. Okay, reason number 2 why we believe retreats are so transformational is there's space and time to connect with deeper self. Don't we all want more space and time and quiet for ourselves? I don't know about you, Chris, but when I'm having my one-on-ones with clients, I mean, we hear it in our group workshops as well, is the number one thing I hear is, I want more me time. I don't have enough time for me. I want more space. I want more peace and quiet. I just want more time for me.
And sometimes it's easier to have a big thing like this, to be able to not a scapegoat or an excuse, but a reason, something that you can go, this is it. I'm going to use this time. This is for me. This is I'm going to use this time for me. I'm going to devote my time. Whereas that might be a bit challenging with at your current level to give yourself permission to give yourself that now. So this could be the catalyst to being able to have this time anytime that you want as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're a client listening,
hey,
and you're like, oh, far out, I feel very seen right now. I've said this to Chris and Philly multiple times. I want more me time. Then here is my invitation, my love. Come and join us at the Body Knows Retreat. Make it happen. I know you can. You get to choose. Yeah. If you really want it, you will find the time and even the money that you think you might not have, because I promise you, I have felt that way too. It's just like, oh, I can't do it. Oh no, it's going to stretch us financially, or like, oh, couldn't like take some time off work, or couldn't leave the family. Good. And there have been things that have just pulled me in via my heart, and I have said yes, and I've just made it happen. And then afterwards it's like, why did I make such a big deal of that? Like, I can say yes anytime.
I love those times where I feel a resistance to something that I want. I look for those in my life, because then I know I'm on track.
Yeah.
Because it's what the obstacle's the way, isn't it? You're feeling a resistance. You're feeling a tension. Good. Yeah. So you should. That's the way it works.
Now I want to speak into if you're someone who does feel like they have a lack of space and time, you're not alone. It is a very common pattern feeling to have if you have been running burnout patterns for a long time. So things like overdoing, perfectionism, people pleasing, being stuck in fight, flight, or freeze. Space and time can feel like a commodity that keeps slipping out of your grasp. It's like, when this finishes, then I'll have more time. When Christmas is over, then I'll have more time. When the school term is over, then I'll have more time. And it just continually slips out of your grasp. And so I say this with love from a place of helping you to create more of what you want. You have created this scarcity of space and time. No one else has, but you have. Which also means that you can choose to carve out space and time for yourself and untangle yourself from a busy schedule. It's not going to happen overnight. And depending on your situation, because everyone's situation and current season of life is different. Like a new mum with a brand new baby sucking on her boob almost all day and all night, her time looks very different to a person who is in retirement. But if you're feeling like I have no space and time, you can carve it out, even if that looks like 30 minutes a day for yourself. Maybe 3 to 4 days for yourself to come to a retreat is just like a bit out of capacity at the moment for your current season. But I am pretty sure that you can carve out 30 minutes a day for yourself.
Also,
you could also find 3 to 4 days, because anything's possible.
Yeah, true that. Also, if you feel like, if I could have this, then I'll be able to do that. If I could just have, and you're waiting for we call this the victim mentality, or you're a slave. Really, you're choosing to see yourself as a slave. I can't, because I am locked in. I am tethered. No, you haven't. It's not real. It's all just pretend. It's in your head, and you might. I'm excited if you disagree with me, because I'm okay with that. But this is the victim mentality, and I look for those when that pops up for me. I'm like, boom, Chris. Hello, victim mentality. Well, that popped up. What's going on there? And so this could be a catalyst for you to have a transformation just in the process of thinking about coming to the retreat. You've got this resistance. It's this, if I had blah blah blah, then I would do it. And it's like, oh, well, hi, little victim. Hello, little slave mentality right there. Like you feel shackled. You feel impoverished right there. And you might think that I'm not being very sensitive, and well, I don't know you. I don't know your situation. You know you, but this could be a growth experience for you, whether you come or not. Anytime you feel like this, you're running a slave victim mentality pattern.
And it is interesting. One of our clients who is coming, I know I've had many conversations with her around not having enough time, even to turn up to a one-on-one or a workshop. It's just like, it just had been feeling so much like everyone else was taking up her time. Everything else was taking up her time. And then magically it's like, I am coming. It's like, whoa, where'd you find that time? The time was always there. It's just sometimes you need to tell a different story. Sometimes maybe you don't even tell a different story and you just take action. And then you realize that the world doesn't fall apart around you, and in fact it gets better. And then that's like collecting evidence along the way that it's like, oh, I can be different. And actually this time thing, that this is like, it's not even real. I recently did a 5-week course with my meditation mentor, Thomas McConkie, about tuning into the deepest part of ourselves. So it was a bit more of a spiritual journey. He calls this our still point. So I use the phrase a lot, the deepest part of you that wants the best for you. Now you could call that your heart, your soul, your spirit, the part of you in your unconscious mind or your higher brain that wants the best for you. Whatever it is, I loved how he called it our still point. So our still point is always there, even when we're feeling like we're not still, even when we're feeling like we're out of presence, but it's always there. And in order to access and to connect with our still point, there must be stillness and presence in some point with us. So if we're too busy running around doing all the things, it's very hard to access this beautiful, pure, wise and loving part of us. So part of the course was creating a life rhythm to create time and space to nourish this still point. And I really loved his rhythm, and it's something that I've taken on as well. So this is not a prescription, by the way, but this might be just something for you to think about too in terms of implementing it into your own life. So 2 times a day, creating an intentional space to have a still point. And there's no time frame in that. That could be 5 minutes of like taking a herbal tea out onto the deck and watching the sun. Or it could be a 1 hour, I don't know, meditation session, whatever. So 2 times a day of intentional still point sessions. And then every month doing a longer session of like a half day, maybe 3 or 4 hours. And then every year going on a retreat. Now for Thomas, that's 7 days, and he does like a 7-day silent retreat, often by himself, and then he hosts other retreats in America. But it was so cool, and he said that because last year, before I did this course, I just had this pull to go on a retreat once a year for myself, for no other reason but to connect in with myself. And I did that last year. I'm booked in to go to a retreat in Fiji in June, which I'm super excited. And I don't know, that might actually become more than once a year because I really love retreats now. And so I have personally taken that on as well, not specifically how Thomas has done it, but to have that weekly, daily, monthly, and yearly rhythm to really connect in with yourself is something that will heal you and maintain your health and your life for years to come.
Sounds like the Army Reserves is 1 night a week, one fortnight a month, one night a week, 1 weekend a month, 1 fortnight a year. or in our
well, it's creating a consistent, like with anything that becomes like a consistent rhythm, and that doesn't have to be like super structured either. It could be a rhythm of like a few times a month. Not sure when that happens, but it happens a few times a month.
Yeah.
Were you going to say something about?
So our ending body burnout method clients, we encourage them to, it's almost like a certificate for in you. And it is 100 hours. And when you add up all the contact time with Philly and I, and then their own internal work, their personal work, and they're plugging their thoughts into the outlets, and which is what we call our workbook journal type stuff. You add all that up, it equals about 100 hours of stuff. And the way we bundle up our anybody burnout method is like a 6-month process. And most people can get either all the way there or a good chunk of the way there towards their 100 hours. Some people need a little bit more time. Some people get to the 100 hours and need a little bit more extra time than that. But yeah, having some sort of a rhythm, like what you said, or Army Reserve style, or 100-hour rule, it's really good. Retreats can form a amazing
Many hours,
part,
even over 3 days.
Yeah.
One last thing on that, like I had already, before I started going to multiple day retreats, I'd already created a rhythmic practice of listening into myself. But there was just something really magical around having, again, multiple days of deep connection with self. And it's a combination of all the things we're talking about today, but that was definitely a huge aspect as to why I could break through something in 2 days that had already been taking me 4+ months to try and break through and work through. And when you're in that communion with self, it is a magical place to live in and live from. Not only is it healing and it will prevent ongoing burnout, but I have experienced more joy, more peace, more groundedness, more presence, more happiness, more alignment, more purpose, more passion, more excitement from living from this place. And it's not something that's just going to come to you. It is a practice you need to cultivate. And that practice requires time. Okay. Just a couple of stats for those who like stats. I'm always a big fan of stats. But when I was looking into, are there any studies around retreats? Because I was curious. I'm like, I have lived experience that they're transformational, but is there anything that actually happens for people who go on transformational retreats? So there are studies that show that reduced cortisol, that retreats can reduce cortisol and improve health. And this is not just like a little workshop. This is studies around multiple day retreats can significantly reduce that cortisol by up to 60% and improve mental clarity by 93%, and in some cases provide lasting health benefits for up to 5 years. I'm like, who wouldn't want to invest in that? One, have an amazing experience in a different location, eating great food, being with great people, and have lasting healing benefits for years to come. Hell yes.
Have you guys heard this joke? 42.87% of all statistics are made up on the spot, except for that one.
There was another one that said that immersive week-long retreats, well-being retreats, can significantly enhance long-term metabolic health and overall well-being as well. So that was really cool. So it will change how you feel in your body. It will change how you live in your body, and it won't. Transformational retreats, they last. There is like a deep seated, those studies just showed a physical change and evidence. Metaphysical change that continues post the retreat. And that's where the magic really happens, as you integrate that into your life. Okay. Reason number 3. Meaningful connections with others, which I think is what Chris was touching base on when he was talking about his retreats that he went on with Mark and Mark.
Marky Mark.
So personally, I am an introvert, and I didn't realize how special and how much I would value being with a small group of like-minded people during a transformational retreat. When I first signed up to my very first retreat, it was not to connect with other people. It wasn't even like because it was in person. Maybe the location had a little bit to do with it, but it was kind of like, no, I want to go there for a transformation. And I didn't realize how beautiful and wonderful and spiritual it would be to be in a group of people who are all there for the same reason. And to be honest, I had quite a bit of social anxiety around going on multiple day retreats by myself. It was like, oh, who am I going to get like lodged with? And like, oh, what if I say something weird? And what if people don't like me? Blah, 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 blah. What I noticed though, and this is comparing non-transformational retreats or like multiple day experiences versus transformational retreats, is I still don't love going to whether it's like a conference or a surface level retreat, because I don't love small talk. And I have been to some experiences where it was like the interactions with other people were superficial. They were masked. It was kind of like awkward small talk. What do you do for a living? Blah, 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 blah. How old are your kids? On the other side, the transformational retreats that I have been to have been cultivated to have deep, honest, truthful, meaningful conversations with a group of strangers. And that has been transformative in itself. So now when I go and I know that I'm going to a space that's going to be transformation, there is no social anxiety at all, because I know that like meaningful conversations, I feel safe in those versus superficial small talk, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I'd rather just go spend some time on my own.
Yeah.
Not, safe, but also enlivened by those. Like, they excite me, they move me. And so the qualities that I felt made it so was an intentional retreat for deep shift. The facilitators and the mentors that, we have both been to ask the deep, difficult and heart-opening questions. One retreat started off with the very first conversation was, where in your life are you sacrificing yourself? And she's like, journal on that for a bit. And I'm like, oh, that's a big question. And then another retreat, the couples retreat that we went on, started off with, do you love me? And if the answer was no, the next question was...
See you later.
Well, no, if the answer was no, the next question was, are you willing to learn to love me again?
Oh, yeah.
And if you've been around us for long enough, whether just as a listener on the podcast or as a client, you know that Chris and I will ask the deep and difficult and heart-opening questions that will lead to a transformation. And this is 100% what you can expect for the Body Knows retreat as well. Also with like that human connection that is transformational, something that also makes that so is when I have felt like it has been a safe, judgment-free space where I can show up as myself, warts and all, patterns and all, to work through my stuff. Knowing that we all have our stuff, and that looking at patterns and beliefs and stories and fears and blocks that are no longer serving us, like, it's not weird. It's actually the most loving, caring, safest thing that you can do for yourself. Another thing, and you touched on this, Chris, was being seen and heard, kind of like being witnessed by other people in real life, where you can look at them in their eyes. Sometimes, when we've held like free workshops, and it's like, are people even listening? I mean, there's always the people that are, because they're very engaged in the chat box, or, you can see in their expression that they're following along. But then there's also like a whole heap of screens that aren't on with a random name, or people with screens on that are kind of like walking around in the background. And like, there's no judgment in that. But when you're in a in-person small group retreat, presence is forced. I say that in a, like, not necessarily like you have to be present, but it is. It's almost like I am here standing bare naked, not literally, but in front of real life humans. And because I want to be here. Sometimes when you jump onto something online, it's like, I do want to be here, but the brain and, you get distracted and all sorts of stuff. So there's something really special about being seen and heard in all your nakedness and truth. And to also have other people applaud you and to cheer you on and to share their own insights. I remember the couples retreat, there were a few people there that it was almost like they were the participants, but it was also a mastermind as well, where it wasn't just the mentor, guiding the experience and offering the wisdom. It was also other people's wisdom. And it's like, whoa, we're all the same but different, but we can all learn from each other, and we can all see and hear each other and go back into real life and into the world feeling more courageous to be you in all your authenticness, because you have been witnessed by someone else for multiple days and multiple hours. That's
what the mastermind is. I forget who talked about the mastermind, Napoleon Hill maybe, or whoever it was. But the mastermind is the wisdom, the collective wisdom of the whole. And when you come to a retreat, that mastermind effect is present.
And it's also very biologically wired in our DNA. So we live in a world that's so disconnected now. We are more connected than ever through the internet and through like airplanes and stuff. But we are more disconnected than ever. People are stuck on phones, devices, doom scrolling, interacting through text or socials or email. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was Esther Capel. She's like the relationship expert woman. And she did a podcast with someone who was having a romantic relationship with AI. She's like, this is happening, people. Like,
Wow.
people are having romantic relationships with robots now. And she was curiously asking, like, what was happening inside there? And, like, how is that working for you? So the infrastructure of living in tribes, which we evolved from, I feel really has shattered in our Western and modern worlds. Even, like, families not being together as much as what they used to be. So there's something really not just like nice, but something in our DNA that just is craving that, whether you consciously realize it or not. Your DNA is craving in-person tribal experience, which is essentially one of the big reasons why I was feeling pulled to creating this retreat. I'm like, I can't wait to give our client from Queensland, for example, who is coming, a hug in real life and be like, oh my gosh, I feel you now. Like, I physically am holding you in my hands. How special is that?
Very cool.
Okay. So the energy of being in a group of people too is very contagious. Like, there's a lot of research around the nervous system and that we're constantly co-regulating with people in our physical environment. And so if everyone is learning and growing and transforming together, it is like it's contagious. And that is one of the reasons why a retreat can fast track your healing. Last week I spoke about the breathwork session that I did and how the miscarriage came to the surface to process and to let go. What I didn't mention, I don't think, was that I don't think I would have had that experience if I did a breathwork session using a YouTube video on my own. Because there are a couple of things, like I could physically hear other people breathing beside me. I could hear other people crying beside me. Before we entered the breathwork, I learnt about some of the people in the group, and one person talked about grief and loss, and so even all of that, like other people's experiences and hearing them beside me, was actually seeding what I needed to shift, and it was coming to the surface. And I wouldn't have got that if I was just doing that on my own. Okay, last point, number 4, why I believe retreats transformational, and not all retreats have this, but ours will, is that we get to immerse into nature. For me, nature is where I feel the most in tune with myself and with things bigger and greater than myself. Nature is healing, it's restorative, it's restful, it's inspiring. Pretty sure you have experienced that as well. So just like living in a world where people are feeling more relationally disconnected because of tech and AI and all that sort of stuff, we're also living in a world where people are more disconnected from nature. Chris is showing a little penguin picture.
Cute little
There's little penguins at the cove.
They won't be there when we're there, but aren't they cute?
Who knows though? Like, we just had the warmest May day in the last 163 years, so they start coming back in September, so they might do an early appearance for us.
That's awesome.
But people are very disconnected from nature. I even hear this from people who live in or right near nature. It's just like, oh, I never get time to get out there. I'm like so caught up with work or family or my responsibilities or all the things that I'm doing, or like technology is taking over, and I want more nature. I'm craving it and I'm not getting enough of it. So this is really common for a lot of people. And here's the thing, and this is why it's actually destroying us. That's a bit big of a word. This is why it's actually not healthy for our body, is because our human body is natural. Like, we are nature. We are Mother Earth. Our very existence relies on the air that we breathe, the nutrients from the earth that we eat. We aren't robots. We're not AI. We aren't technology. We are not work factories. We are nature. And so to deeply listen into what our bodies are trying to tell us, nature can be this beautiful healing supportive vessel in order to do this. Like nature, and I've experienced this in myself, nature assists us in our healing. Nature heals us because we heal us, and you heal you. Not a lab, not a pill, not a supplement, not a meditation app. You heal you. And when you can get back into touch with your raw, natural humanness through the earth, through deep presence with the earth, and not just like a quick little selfie where it's just like, yay, I just like went to this beautiful place. Ding. All right, let's go now. Where's the next place? But you're actually like in communion with the earth, with slowness and presence and being in nature for multiple days. This is healing. And again, it fast tracks that growth and healing. Another reason why it can be transformational. So again, this was an element that I wanted to bring into the Body Knows retreat. I knew it had to be in a part of the planet that was natural and quiet and beautiful and inspiring, because the place will do half the healing. I was talking to one of my coaches and he said, it doesn't really matter where it is, as long as it's like, if transformation is what's important, then like, you could do it anywhere. And there was something I'm like, yes, like I partly agree, but also I want the place to reflect what is happening inside of you when you're going through this deep self-discovery, connection, and transformation. And we've been to other retreats, multiple day events where it's been in a conference room. Yeah. Or even like in the city, maybe, I've been to a place where it was in a beautiful hotel, like it was beautiful, and the woman spent thousands of dollars decorating the place. But it was like just in town, in the city, or in like a clinical room. And then I've been to other experiences where it's been nestled away in nature, and 100% I know where my body and mind and heart respond best and heal best, and it's in nature. So when Chris and I were looking for a place to hold the Body Knows retreat, I was feeling really called to hold it in Tasmania, in our place, our state. We always say to each other, we live in paradise.
We really do.
And I personally, I grew up in Tassie, Chris didn't, but I neglected how amazing, or disregarded how amazing Tasmania was when I was growing up. I remember as a teenager, early 20, I'm like, I can't wait to get out of Tassie. It's so backwards. I want to get to the big smoke. And part of my own healing journey looked like creating a lifestyle and a schedule that allowed me to be out in nature more. And since then, I've had just some really deep, profound healing connection inside nature. And yeah, whenever we go over to the mainland, which is also like beautiful places. Like we've traveled to beautiful places, but coming home to the northwest coast of Tasmania, it's paradise.
This is it. This is where we are. So if you can see my screen here, this is just in Canva. You come off the highway. I don't know if you can see my cursor. You come off the highway, you drive up this road, and then as you...
The photo doesn't do it justice.
Doesn't do it justice.
This actually isn't a great photo.
This is an awful... yeah. So you drive up this, and you're like driving past the Highland cows and all this sort of stuff.
Well, yeah, there's cute Highland cows and alpacas and
goats. You come in here, and there's the Alexander Centre is right there, and you've got the Cheviot Suites up here, and then you've got... up here you've got Cliffside, then down here you've got the what's this one called, Hillside Cabins, and then over here you've got the Lilico
outdoor hot tubs,
and then up here you've got a beautiful cafe
restaurant,
the Atrium, and where we'll be doing most of our stuff together will be in and around this sort of area here.
Well, it will, but there's so many. I took my girls for a walk there, and there's so many just beautiful,
so many little places,
natural spots down on the rocks and on the hill. And
look at down here. You've got this beautiful cove.
You can go swimming if you want to. If you want to do a winter ocean dip, bring your togs.
Down here, you've got this little well-kept wallaby grass area. they keep the grass short. You can sit there over the cliffs and just transform in silence and waves. But then there's plenty of spots just around here. You've got deck chairs, you've got a hot tub here, communal one, fire pit, all this sort of stuff that, oh man, I can't wait to get in there. You've got the dams here. Got a social room up here. Very cool.
Yeah. And there have been a lot of really special places open up to us in Tasmania where we could have held the retreat, and, you know, we might hold it in other places in the future. I'm envisioning lots of retreats to come. But we have chose the Cove, Tasmania. The moment that we walked into the venue, it was on a really stormy day. Do you remember that? After EcoFest?
Yes.
Rainy, windy. We walked in through the accommodation and then out onto the cliff, and the waves were just crashing up. And we both looked at each other and it's like, this is the place. And my body was like, full body, yes, let's do it. Even though it was a big risk to hold it here. It's like, if we only sell 2 spots, we will be out of pocket a lot.
Donate a lot of.
We have donated a lot of money here. But
anyway, we knew it was going to work.
Well, this is the part 2 of, I guess, like connecting in with self that I was talking about, and that still point. So if my body said yes and my heart said yes, I'm like, this will happen, and it's going to happen, and it's going to be wonderful, and it's going to be beautiful, and we're going to do it here. And since we have booked the spot in, I have had no fear response in my body about it, which I'm just reflecting on that now, because old Philly, before I did any of this work, would have been freaking out. It would have been like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have done it here. What if it doesn't work? What if? But it's like, no, if my heart says yes, I'm going to follow through.
All right. In conclusion.
Yes. Well, that is it. Come to the retreat. If you're keen.
Thus concludes.
We've only got 8 spots left. That might be less by the time the podcast releases, and the early bird does end on the 14th of May. So if you wanted to save $500 on your spot, head down to the show notes and come and join us.
What's the date now in the future?
So excited.
At this time when they're listening.
If someone's listening on the day of recording,
week, right?
I think it's the 12th of May.
Yeah. So hello from the past, future people, come to our retreat. That doesn't make any sense.
Goodbye.
Have the best day ever. See yous.
Thank you so much for listening. We so appreciate you. If you'd like to give us extra smiles, drop us a review and spread the love by sharing this episode.
You can also rate your own state of burnout and the root cause contributors by taking our Ending Body Burnout Assessment on our website. And if you're interested in learning about our group or one-on-one Ending Body Burnout programs, shoot us a DM via Instagram or Facebook.
Have the best day ever.